But what you need to do is you need to prepare. You need to develop that attitude of the power writer so that they recognize your value. You have to show them through your constant action. Constant messaging is one way to do it. Constant messaging relies on your senses. When you meet someone for the first time, they're coming towards you, you're getting ready to meet them, what are the things you look for? You look to see what kind of a smile they have. Do they have a nice smile? Is it a sincere smile? Are they making good eye contact with you? What are they wearing? What do they look like? You make those decisions very, very quickly. And immediately, within 7 seconds, according to the experts, within 7 seconds, you know whether you're going to like that person or not. And in those 7 seconds, you decide whether you're going to pursue a relationship or not, or you're just going to have a greeting and forget it. So those first 7 seconds of constant messaging are really important. The opportunities for constant messaging come in short little bursts. And I'll tell you a little story about how that works. I showed up one day for a deposition at a client's office, and one of the things I do before I enter the building, every time I say, this is going to be a great day. I don't care what happens today, it's going to be good, and I'm going to respond positively to it. So I went into this office, and the receptionist greeted me and took me back to the conference room, and I was writing real time that day, so I had some extra equipment to set up, and it took me about 20 minutes to get all set up, and I did that. And I waited for my client to enter the room. And shortly after that, Kathy, the receptionist, came back into the room, and I could see that she was upset. Her face was ashen, and her shoulders were slumped, and she wasn't smiling anymore. She didn't want to make eye contact with me. And finally she said, Mr. Betz, I'm so sorry. I've put you in the wrong room. And I said, well, Kathy, I am so glad to hear you say that, because I've never liked this conference room. Where are we going next? And boy, immediately you could see the color come back into her face, and the smile lit up, her eyes were brightened. And if I had reacted this way, if she had said that to me and I had said, oh, God, oh, Kathy, where are we going next? Forget it. The moment's gone, I lost it. Because then she would have known my first reaction was to be upset. And that would have made her more upset. But by reacting the way I did, positively right away, all that was gone. And what was a negative experience now was a positive experience. Because for her, as the receptionist, that was her job, was to make visitors to the firm, vendors, clients, comfortable. Put them in the right room, make them feel comfortable. And she had failed in this instance. And she felt badly about it. And so my job, as a person who practices outfluence and silent communication, was to recognize what was happening to her and what I could do to ease her concern at that moment. So that's why understanding constant messaging, understanding silent communication, understanding what's happening in the other person's mind when you're engaged with them is critical to building strong relationships. Another client of mine, we were in a deposition, and she said to me after it was over, she said, Al, I'm so glad that you show up to report my depositions personally, because, you know, we're engaged in litigation. People are upset at one another. Somebody may be yelling at me during that deposition. It may be a really rotten day. But I know I can always look at you, and I see that smile, and it makes me feel better. She said, you're my oasis in that deposition. And there you go. Al's an oasis. I had no idea. But all those little things, you don't know how important they are to somebody. That was what was more valuable to her than my ability as a reporter. I made her feel good, made her feel comfortable. And you know the long-term impact of that? If she didn't feel that way, she left that deposition being upset, she goes back to her office. Maybe she yells at her secretary. You know, maybe she gets it out of her system that way instead of the way we did it. You know, a little smile, and she's good to go, and she gets back to the office, and she's feeling good, and everybody's happy. I mean, it's little things. It's amazing, and it's a neat thing to watch happen. And people aren't going to say to you, Al, that was really cool that you did that or whatever. It's not that big a deal. That little instance is not that big a deal. But over the course of time, it's a big deal. All those little instances add up, and they add up to people knowing what to expect. They know what to expect from you when I show up. And I can't tell you how important it is. Same thing on the phone. We train our staff in these outfluence methods, and they do the same thing when they're answering the phone. They know how to interact with the client. They know what the client's expecting. They know that the client's having a problem, and you've got to deal with it right now.